This has to be my most favorite crochet pattern I've ever designed. I'm just so excited with this. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Annie. I'm a crochet pattern designer, and let me tell you, I am so excited today because I have to share something with you that I can hardly contain. So I'm just whipping out the camera and talking to you right now. So I'm currently working on a pattern that I'm going to be releasing very soon, and I've had the idea to make a raccoon crochet pattern for the longest time, but I've been so scared to figure out all the color changes in the faces and really bring it to life exactly how I wanted to. But last night I decided to get to work on it, and I created the head after drawing it out a few different times, and I am just so excited for this pattern. I don't want to jinx it too much yet, but I have a feeling this is going to be my best pattern to date. So I thought it'd be really fun to document the designing process and walk you through all the different thoughts and things that I had along the way. So if you are interested in designing crochet patterns in the future, you can get an idea of what it looks like behind the scenes. So for starters, I was actually looking at some pictures of raccoons on the internet to get an idea of how the colors change across their face, and then I sort of just drew it out from there. So here's my silly little drawing of roughly what I wanted to accomplish, and you'll see here these are actually a few different things that I'm hoping to include in the pattern. The first being a little banana peel that you can attach to his head. A couple other ideas that I had were to make an apple core, and then like a little soda cup, and maybe a garbage can. We're gonna have to play around with that though and just see how it goes. So as you saw in my drawings, I kind of mapped out how I wanted to do those color changes on the face to get a better idea, and I decided to just send it. I was telling Ryan, my husband, I was like, this is gonna be the hardest design that I've done, just figuring out all those color changes and getting it to look cute but like a raccoon at the same time. And I almost feel like me going into it with that expectation is what made it so fun and actually way easier than I thought that it would be. So I'm gonna show you the head so far. Okay, so I'm truly so excited about this, so I can't wait to see what you think. But here is his little head, and this is the first time I've ever crocheted something and just truly felt like it was perfect on the first try. Don't get me wrong, I still had to rework the color changes a few times, but I am just so happy with this. It looks exactly how I wanted it to, and I've never seen a crochet raccoon that looks quite like this, so I really am just so happy with how he turned out. And I'm also hoping that this can be a red panda as well, but I'm focusing on the raccoon right now because one thing at a time, I can't get carried away. So this is what we have so far. You can see I sewed on his little nose here, and his ears are also sewn on, but I'm hoping to make the rest of his body relatively no-sew. I'm trying to make it no-sew where I can. So for starters, we have his little arms here, and I am thinking we're gonna have to sew the tail and the legs onto him, but we're just gonna have to play it by ear, and I want to keep you updated throughout this whole process. So this is where we're at so far, and we're just gonna have to see where things go from here. I'm gonna pick up the camera next time I have some updates for you. So I'm about to start working on the tail of our raccoon while I'm actually editing a YouTube video. That's like my little life hack. I love crocheting while I'm editing. Otherwise, I just get so bored watching myself talk over and over again. But I finally just got a Clover & More crochet hook in a 4.5mm size. I do not know why, but I have not had this in my crochet hook collection, and I need it. I feel like I'm constantly going back and forth between a 5mm and a 4.5mm crochet hook for amigurumi, specifically with like Parfait Chunky and Honey Bunny and Toucan. So that reminds me to ask you, I'm curious, what size crochet hook do you like to use when you're crocheting plushies with this type of yarn? I know a lot of people like a 5mm crochet hook. I've even had times where my tension felt so loose that I've worked with a 3.5mm, but I know there's like a big range that people tend to use, so I'm curious what you use. Lately, I've been gravitating towards a slightly smaller crochet hook. I don't know if it's just because I've gotten more relaxed in my tension, but I feel like I'm always all over the place with it. So I'm curious what you have to say about that. But I actually just Googled a raccoon tail on Google Images to kind of see what they look like. And it looks like we're going to be doing some bigger stripes, I think, throughout the tail. And I plan on just alternating between these two colors. I'm working the tail first to see if I can try to make it worked into the pattern so that you don't have to sew it. And hopefully that goes well. But my plan is to have a pretty big bushy tail because I think it's just going to be really cute. And then I'm also hoping today we can start working on his belly because I really want him to have a very round belly because I just think it's going to be so cute. So that's the plan. I'm going to get working. Okay, so this is what I'm thinking for the tail. I like this shape and I think it's gonna be really cute and bushy on the back of the raccoon. So kind of to give you an idea, we don't have the body yet, but this is sort of what it's gonna be like. And I think I'll have it in the pattern so that you pin the tail up against the body so that it... Do you hear Remy running? He is so crazy. He's zooming out there. I think this is pretty cute. I like the shape of it, and I also like that you're gonna be able to work it into the body so you don't have to sew it on. I feel like everyone appreciates that, so that'll be good. So it's been a few days since we last chatted about the raccoon, and I have been hard at work on this pattern. So I did finish that first one that I showed you, and I want to show it to you right now. So this is what it's looking like. And there's definitely a few things about this that I'm not loving. So don't worry, this is not the final version of the pattern, but first off, you can see the head is just looking a little bit cone shaped, I guess, and not as wide as I was wanting it to be. And the body, I think, is actually a little bit too round. Like I want it to be round, but not like a ball, if that makes sense. So I took that into consideration. I also really do like the color changes. So I like that on the face. That's definitely gonna stay. But it seems like the arms hang down just a little bit longer than I would like them to. So those are like my main critiques from the first raccoon. So I took that and started working on the second version of the raccoon, the one that is now the final version of our raccoon pattern, and I'm so excited to share it with you. I just finished this up last night, and one thing you should know about me is that I get bored using the same color yarn over and over, so I had to make this in a different color. So I made a brown raccoon, and I'll start by showing the side view of him to you. So he is brown with a darker brown, and then he has like the cream color change on his face. So for starters, the tail stay the same, but then when you come to the front here, the arms are just a tad shorter, and then his head is a little bit shorter and a little bit wider here. So you can really see how the face changed just by me changing up 2 of the rounds in this pattern, really. I'm pretty sure that's all that it was, but this one just looks much more like a raccoon to me. It has that wider lower half of the face, and I really, really like this now. It is now exactly what I was envisioning. And just for a quick overview, the tail is worked into the body, the arms are worked into the body, and then the only things you do have to sew are the ears, muzzle, and the legs. So pretty low sew, but there definitely is some sewing required, which is fine, honestly, if you ask me. But I really just love him so much. Like when I finished this pattern, I was just like, and I really need to make the gray one. This has to be my most favorite crochet pattern I've ever designed. I'm just so excited with this. So I think we're gonna have to make the gray one next. This is the brown one, and then I'm also hoping to try to make it like in a red panda version and see if that kind of works with the color changes and if it ends up looking like a red panda. I don't really know, but I feel like we should definitely try that. But I do have a little bit more to share with you right now. So you might know in a lot of my patterns, I like to include little accessories. I just think it's really fun. And it just gives kind of a unique twist to the pattern, I guess. Like my lobster pattern, he has a party hat, and my pigeons have cowboy hats and berets and just all sorts of weird stuff like that. So for this one, I figured since he's a raccoon, he needs like a little bit of like fast food or something, right? So this is what I came up with yesterday, okay? And these are both no sew, but this is his little soda cup. If you've ever been to In-N-Out, I was inspired by the In-N-Out soda cups. So that is what it looks like. And then obviously you can change the colors out too, but he also has a little pizza, and look how perfectly they sit on his legs. You could probably sew them here too, but I really like how the straw kind of goes into his mouth, as you can see here. Oops. So I'm really, really loving that. I haven't decided if I'm gonna add a few more accessories. I definitely have some more ideas. Like I feel like we could do a little cheeseburger, or we could even make like a takeout bag for him to keep all his treats in. I feel like all those would be really cute. I'm just trying to do something a little bit different with this pattern, and it just makes me so happy. It makes me so happy that I get to share this with you, and I really hope you all like this pattern. I really do think this is my new favorite. It just feels very special. There's something about this that it just speaks to me. Raccoons are so cute. So that's the update that I had to share with you for now. I really just love him. I can't stop looking at him and this little pizza. So yeah, there he is. Knowing me, I'm probably gonna get carried away and make a few more cute little accessories for him. But I'm thinking next on the raccoon agenda is to make our classic raccoon, just like this one, but obviously new and improved. And I did just get a bunch more gray yarn in, so we should be good to go ahead and make him soon. I have a feeling that's something that I am gonna get to tomorrow since I'm working on a pretty large project today. But in other news, I did get this pattern sent over to my tech editor, so it is currently in editing, which is very exciting. It means that it will be coming very soon. And I just can't wait to see how the gray version looks because these are just my favorite things. They're so cute. It's just the perfect size in my opinion. I think this is like my favorite size plushie because it doesn't take too long and you could finish it in one sitting. Like here it is next to my head, you know, it's like a good size. He's not too big, but he's just big enough. Like I like plushies that I can kind of just have sitting on my bookshelf that aren't like massive, I guess. So next time I see you, we'll probably be working on the gray raccoon and I seriously can't wait. I should also mention I decided to name this raccoon Remy the raccoon in the pattern. If you know, you know. My cat's name is Remy, and so it just felt like the right thing to do. I couldn't settle on any name that started with R, and then I remembered that my little fur child is named Remy. So that's the name and I'm really excited about it. So I will see you very soon when we're ready to start working on another gray raccoon. Hi! Okay, it's been a few days, but I'm back now, and my amazing tech editor, Sherry, is already done editing the raccoon pattern. I swear, it only took her a couple of days, and she is moving so much faster than I am, so I gotta keep up with her, and we need to get this ready for testing. It should be ready in the next few days or so. From here, what I like to do is go through, make the edits, send it back to her, and then I start getting things ready for the tester call, which is so exciting. I'm so excited right now. But I do have to share my new raccoon with you because I told you I was working on that gray one. This is how far I've gotten right now, and he looks kind of funny because he doesn't have his ears or his nose or his legs. So I figured we could do that today, and you might also notice I decided to do dark gray instead of black. So his little face coloring has dark gray instead of black, and I think it's really cute. I think I might like this better just because I find that black chenille yarn is really annoying to work with for some reason, like across all the brands and everything. So that is what I'm doing, and I really like him. So today we're gonna finish that up. We're gonna do his little features that need to be added. I showed you the little pizza and soda, okay? So they're missing off my desk, and that can only mean one thing. It means that Remy took them and hid them somewhere. So I think that they might be like behind my desk or behind this bookshelf behind me or something. And to be quite frank with you, it is literally just easier for me to crochet some new ones than to go looking for them. So we're also gonna have to make a few more of those. So shout out to Remy, thank you so much. I'm just so excited to get crocheting with you. I've got my cup of coffee, which obviously makes everything better. And I figured we can just chat while I'm working on all these little pieces for our raccoon. So I'm doing the little muzzle really quick. This literally takes me like a minute. But I have just had like the best past couple of days, and I am so grateful. So my birthday was on August 5th, and then Ryan, my husband's birthday, is on the 7th. And so we kind of like to just have like a little like staycation celebratory couple of days, and it's super chill and relaxed, but it's so nice, and I just feel so refreshed. I haven't taken like a proper vacation in what feels like forever, so it was really nice to just kind of like hang out with him. We ordered so much takeout. Like I swear I have eaten Taco Bell more in the past couple of days than I have in so long. One thing you should know about Ryan is that he is literally obsessed with Taco Bell. I actually got him for his birthday this really nice like Taco Bell sweatshirt, and it's kind of like this like vintagey material. I haven't been able to give it to him yet because it's coming late, so I am hoping to be able to give it to him today because I think he's really gonna love it. He just is obsessed with Taco Bell. I've never met someone who loves it as much as he does. It's such a interesting choice, you know, because like in my mind I'm like, Taco Bell is good, but it's not like crazy good. I don't know. So yeah, we kind of just hung out and had a really chill couple of days. I went over to my family's house and I shared this on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw this, but my family surprised me with the funniest cake I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's basically a giant brain because I turned 25, and I'm pretty sure the whole thing is that your brain isn't fully developed until you're 25, like your frontal lobe or whatever. So that was kind of the joke, and I swear it was the best cake I've ever seen. And I told everyone, I was like, I never need another cake again in my life because of how funny that was to me. Like they just get my sense of humor so much. Like that's the type of stuff that I just love, like just weird and funny stuff like that. So yeah, basically I never need another cake again in my entire life. I was so in love with it. I could barely cut it open because I just thought it was so pretty. The people who made the cake were like truly so talented because all this shading and detail on like the little like crevices of the brain, and I don't know, it was just so cool to look at. And not only was it like super pretty, but it also tastes amazing. Like, I'm not even really a cake person, but it was so good. I was very happy about that, honestly. It was like the highlight of my week. Like, I have like a little slice of the frontal lobe left and I go into my fridge and I just have a bite of it. It sounds so weird, but I promise it was really good. So it was just a really nice couple of days and I very much enjoyed myself. And then yesterday was Ryan's birthday, so I wanted to make sure he just got to do whatever he wanted. And we went to breakfast. I swear it felt like 3 separate times. Like, we went and got a bagel and then he was like, I'm still hungry. So we went to this place that does like crepes and stuff, and then we ate there. What did we do after that? Oh, and then he wanted a donut, so we got a donut, and it was just crazy. And then after that, we went to the movies. Actually, we saw Twister, which was really good. If you've seen Twister, I want to know what you thought about it, but I really liked it. I haven't been to the movies in a little while now because I think you know me well enough by now, and I've mentioned it quite a few times that I just get super anxious. And so I don't know, it was just nice. And like, I've just been working on like facing my fears of like weird stuff like that a little more lately, where it's like, I know rationally there's nothing dangerous or anything. So it was just nice to like go to the movies. And this is another thing I talked about on my Instagram, but I'm pretty open about the fact that like I, you know, have panic attacks and, you know, they've had kind of like a chokehold on my life like the past few years, but I'm finally coming out of it and doing like a lot of really good work with my therapist. But one of the things I also did over the past few days was I went to the back of Costco by myself, which I don't know why. Let me know if you also relate to this, but I hate the back of Costco. I just find Costco in general to be so overwhelming. It's so big. It just doesn't even make sense how big it is in there. And like the ceilings are so high. I don't know. I just don't like it. And so it was like a big accomplishment for me, honestly, to go back there, and I did it, you know? It's like the silly little things like that to someone who like doesn't struggle with panic attacks. It might seem so like, girl, you went to the back of Costco, but I did. And so I was very happy about that. Just happy in general, you know? And even happier that I'm getting to work in my raccoon. So that's like the little update of everything that's been going on. And another thing that's really fun is I've been working on a sweater that I'm very excited to show you. I haven't made a sweater, like a proper sweater, in so long, but I saw this on Pinterest and that was that basically. I went and bought the pattern and I ran to Michael's and got the yarn, and I'm filming the entire thing. So I'm really excited to show it to you. It's gonna be a fun one. It's a very special sweater and I'm hoping that I will wear it a lot. So far, so good. Look at how much the muzzle really changes the face of the raccoon. I'm still adding it, obviously, but it just gives him so much life. And another thing that I think is really nice about this pattern is that if you don't want to add the little nose, like safety eye, but like for the nose, I have it worked into the color change, so you don't even really need one. It's just like a built-in nose, really. I don't know, I think it's kind of nice, so you'll have to let me know what you think. I am very jazzed about this pattern, if you couldn't tell. I've always wanted my own little raccoon pattern and I just love him. And I love his accessories. All right, I just finished the little raccoon. I got everything sewed on and I love him so much. I love the tail and just everything, the little belly. He still has some little pieces of like polyfill on him, but I just think he's so cute. Now I just need to make the, what is it? The pizza and the soda. And then I'm thinking that I'm gonna make a reel today and reveal this pattern over on Instagram because I'm just so excited. I can't wait any longer. I'm really just so happy with the way that he is turning out. Like, this is exactly what I was envisioning. Okay, I just finished the little accessories. Here they are. We finally have them back thanks to Remy taking them away from us. I'm just obsessed with the pizza and I love how the cup looks almost like an In-N-Out cup. If you know, you know. But one of my favorite things about these accessories is how they perfectly sit right here on the raccoon, just like this. Like he's holding it and the straw lines up to the mouth like that, and it looks like he's taking a sip out of it. So here we have it. Here are our raccoons. I love them so much. Oh my gosh. Ah! yeah, I might have to sew those on. I think next we have to make a red panda. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time in this video, but it's definitely something that's on my list. I just love these so much. Now it is time for me to make that reel and also start editing the pattern. So hopefully I can get that tester call up within the next 24 hours or so. I just posted my reel for the raccoon. I'll put it up here on the screen so you can watch it too. But it took me forever to film it because I kept on knocking the pizza and the little soda cup off of the raccoon's arms and legs. So I definitely need to sew those on at some point. Like they're definitely meant to kind of be attached, I think. But so far everyone is responding so positively and it just makes me so happy. Like there are a few things that make me as happy as just hearing my crochet pattern be received so well. I'm so glad so many people are loving it already and it just makes me want to get the tester call out even sooner. So who knows? I'm pretty impulsive, so I could get it out today, but maybe tomorrow. We're just gonna have to see. I'm currently going through all the edits of the pattern and it is so easy. I love my tech editor so much. I also just started doing my patterns in Google Docs. I used to make all my crochet patterns in Canva, but lately I've been having some issues with like actually formatting the patterns and getting all the margins even, and it's really easy for them to look a little wonky. I just decided to switch over to Google Docs because I think it just looks a little bit cleaner than the way I was doing it before. I'm definitely gonna have to go back through my patterns at some point and update them all to Google Docs, but that is something for another time. So I'm gonna go through and edit this and I'll keep you updated on what I decide. I also just took some pictures of the raccoons out in the sunlight. You might already know this, but out here is like where I take all my pictures for all my patterns in front of these little birds of paradise. I don't know why, I just love it as my background. It's become like a signature thing for me over on my Instagram and in all my patterns. So I don't know what I'm gonna do when I move. I'm gonna have to find a new background. It's gonna be a sad day when that happens, but I'm gonna start editing this pattern and get it all wrapped up and ready for testing. Okay, so I decided to be impulsive and I put the pattern up for testing on my Patreon, so they have access to it right now. And then I just put the tester call up on my Instagram. So we're gonna have testing underway very, very soon, and I'm gonna keep you updated on that. But I'm just so excited, if that isn't already abundantly clear. I think Evie is too. Where is she? Can you see her? Oh goodness gracious. She is dreaming. Look at that girl. Honestly, I'm slightly jealous. I need a nap too. So I'm back with another raccoon, except this time it is a red panda. So I just finished this and I love how it turned out, but I'm curious, let me know in the comments what you think. Like if you think this looks like a red panda or if you think it just looks like a Halloween raccoon. I don't know, but regardless, I really like how this turned out. I used that limited edition Premier Parfait Chunky orange color. It's pretty bright and it's really perfect for Halloween projects, so I'm excited to start using that more in some fall crochet vlogs coming up very soon. But I do really like him and I thought it would just be fun to show that there is an option to make a sort of red panda by changing out the colors. I didn't do anything different with the pattern. I just changed out the main color for orange, obviously, and then this is a dark brown and a white. So I thought that was pretty fun, but here's like a bit of a close-up of him with his funny little arms. I like how you can make him wave like this. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this one. I think he's super cute, and we've just made a ton of raccoons in this vlog. Like we made the brown one, the red panda, and then we have the classic raccoon, and then of course we can't forget our little accessories, the little soda and the little pizza. So it has been a very busy little vlog, but I've just had a ton of fun designing this pattern and I love taking you along through the process with me. Like you might remember we started with this guy, and looking back, his head is definitely a little wonky. His arms are a little too long. His head is literally a triangle in this first draft, but I'm proud of how far we have come. So I'm really excited about this pattern, and by the time you're watching this video, this pattern will actually be available on my Etsy store for sale. So if you're interested in making your own little raccoon or red panda, make sure to go check that out because I'm seriously so happy with this pattern. I know I said it at the beginning of this video, but I really think this is like my favorite design I've ever made. I'm honestly not sure why. Like I couldn't tell you why. Something about just like the little belly and everything, it just gets me. It's just so good. So I'm really excited to be sharing this with you. And I've mentioned this before on my channel and you might already know, but just in case you don't, I do have a Patreon Patreon, and all my patrons get the pattern for free every month. The membership is $2 and you get access to all the previous month's patterns before. So if you do like making my patterns, I think it's a pretty good deal. So if you're interested, I always have that linked in the description as well. But thank you again for coming along with me on this really fun little pattern designing journey. I'm hoping to share another one with you very soon. You'll have to let me know what you think of this style of video. So thanks for being here. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye!